Hello everyone, welcome to After the Whistle, previously recorded at LCTV Studios, downtown Lynn. I am Brian Dorrington, along with my co-host, Marvelous Mukala Kabongo.
I'm excited.
Excited?
I'm excited.
Oh,
I got my Wakanda gear today.
Oh, well, tell me a little bit about that gear.
It's Black Panther tonight.
Okay, gotcha. Now I'm putting two and two together.
Put two and two. It's
I
Black
think Dave
Panther
already
night.
saw it. Did you talk to him? Did you
Nah,
like it or not?
I don't want no spoilers.
You don't want any spoilers?
No, I'm going to see it
well,
tonight.
I can tell you one thing. It's a spoiler. Black Panther's not going to die in the movie. And I haven't even seen it. And I haven't even seen it, but I can just tell the way those things are. Okay, cool. You're excited for Black Panther.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk some Celtics.
Woo.
We're going to start with...
We got to start with the good.
Well, what's the good?
We got to start with...
You want us to talk about with the Paul Pierce jersey retirement?
We can talk about that.
That's what's on the list
about what
first.
happened.
That's what's on the list
Yeah,
first.
we can talk about what happened before the retirement.
Yeah, we'll talk about what happened before
after,
the retirement.
It was a very nice ceremony. I think they put together something really nice for him. The organization did something for one of their top players in their history. What he did for the franchise, he did a lot for the franchise, and there was times where he really could have left because there was a point like during the middle 2000s where it was just bad. It was him and a bunch of young players, and he was mainly the only veteran. You have one veteran trying to lead a group into the playoffs and the finals or have aspirations of winning finals. It's just not possible with a bunch of first and second year players, and that's what he was dealing with. So there was points where, we've seen it a lot with other players when they're with the franchise for so long and things aren't going as they wanted, they start asking for demands for trades, and you never heard Paul Pierce do that.
Yeah, well, he got rewarded when they brought in Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Ray Allen, who ended up being a big part of this story.
Ray Allen's been a big part of this. Well, that championship team for the past 5-6 years.
Yeah, right. But a lot of people were talking. I mean, this was Paul Pierce's night, and one of the main popular stories afterwards was that Ray Allen was golfing with Paul Pierce and posting pictures. I mean, with George Lopez. I have no idea why they're hanging out, but okay, I guess
Ray
they're
Allen
friends.
likes to golf.
Ray Allen likes to golf. He's posted on Instagram, so that was one of the big stories.
Yeah,
taken away from the night.
I mean, you can't. I mean, if he wants to golf, he can golf. He had no. It would have been nice for him to be there, just because they did win a championship together, and some of the other players that were on that team, they came for that. But hey, I got other obligations. It's not like it's the end of the world. It wasn't.
Yeah, get over it. The bad blood. I mean, I'm sure that there's still some hurt feelings. I don't know why. It's professional sports. People leave for other teams that they despise all the time.
They were just mad because he pretty much did what Kevin Durant did. Pretty much, he goes to the team that pretty much beat you, knocked off your chance of going to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, he was going for a ring. A title.
Yeah, pretty much. So
that's what it's about.
Yeah,
but there's nothing. But that's how sports work.
That's free agency. So
that's the way it works.
Can't be. I mean, I was mad too when he left. I was
of course.
I was like, God damn it! Why you gotta go?
Everybody was.
Yeah, but you get over it. I'm sure most of them are over it now, but I think it's kind of being a little bit overblown now by the media. Like, where's Ray Allen? Why wasn't he there? Then they highlight how Kevin Garnett and Rajon Rondo were there. So it's like, I mean, they kind of are still trying to make this thing a story when it's really not. I mean, Ray Allen and Pierce, they patched it up already this past summer. They were at a tournament or something. At an event together and stuff. And Paul Pierce said they talked about it pretty much, and they just, they got it over. So it's two grown men that, I mean, it's not a story anymore.
Yeah.
So,
no, it was a great ceremony. A lot came from it.
Yeah.
But after the ceremony, things didn't go so well.
Ooh.
Not too good. Not the way that Paul Pierce would have liked to see his night of honoring end. Especially who he was playing, especially who the Celtics were playing against that night.
Yeah, it was. The game was a disaster.
What was the final score? I got it right. 121-99.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
On Paul Pierce Day.
So, it's like they didn't come to play. They didn't. They came to play for.
They came to watch Paul Pierce.
They came to play
jersey.
It looks like they wanted to be spectators. They came to play in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. After that, everything went downhill. Everything went downhill. they just let Cleveland do whatever they want. They weren't playing no defense at all.
It was an embarrassing loss.
Yeah, very embarrassing. And this has been a trend for all of last week. It's been a trend. They were 1-4 in their past 5 games.
Let's get to that. All right, let's start with this. Are you worried where the Celtics are at this point in the season? Does it concern you as a fan?
Yeah, it concerns me how they're playing, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's very concerning. The way they are playing, it's like the effort is lackluster. Their defense is really horrible. They play worse defense than the Patriots.
Our defense is still number 1 in the NBA. I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but numbers-wise, it's still number 1 in the NBA.
When you give up 60 points in the first half in back-to-back games and over 120 points in back-to-back games, that's not good. They gave up 129 points to the Los Angeles Clippers with Austin Rivers, who's running the show, and they made DeAndre Jordan look like a Hall of Fame player.
You're high on. You think we should have went after DeAndre
for
Jordan.
defensive purposes and rebounding? That's about it. He had a career high in points. I think he had 30 points.
Do you attribute some of this to Marcus Smart not being in there? He's a tone setter. He's not a great scorer. He can put up some consistent points, but he's a tone setter. His work ethic. Guys maybe feed off that. I think that's part of the lapse in defense.
Where's the camera?
Oh, what's he? Oh, he's making a point now. He's making a point.
There will never be a day where I give Marcus Smart any credit.
Whoa.
On the Celtics.
Whoa.
So we'll leave that at that. But to answer
credit.
your question, no, it's
we're gonna
effort.
have to talk a little bit more about that.
Listen, when you're just letting guys get wide open shots and guys crash the offensive boards, that's terrible. That's just it's just like Olay defense. It's like, oh, there's the rim, go ahead. Oh, you got an open shot, I'll act like they're not even trying.
He's ever since he's been out is when we've seen his downfall. You don't attribute it a little bit to Marcus Smart.
No, because it's not the players that are killing us. It's not people that Marcus Smart would got.
Okay, so then what's the issue? And how do we fix it?
The issue is the lineups. Number 1, Al Horford.
You said you weren't going to talk bad about Al Horford.
I know I didn't, but...
Oh, he's going to go there. He's going to go. You can go there. Go ahead.
Right,
you have my permission.
Al Horford said from January and February that he's been averaging, in January, 12 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game.
Okay.
In February, 13 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game. Now, for those numbers for... maybe a player people would look at as like a B-C player. Those numbers are good. But for a guy who's an all-star and everybody tells me he's a B+A player, you need to give me more than 12 and 13 points per game. You need to give me more than 7 rebounds and 6 rebounds. He's not rebounding. He can't guard other players' big man. He looks extremely slow out there. It's like sometimes the game's too fast for him, and it's just like. I don't know with him.
You can't put it all on Horford.
No, I'm not going to put it all. I'm not going to put it all on him. But he's one of the factors for a guy. He was the big free agent signing from last year. He was supposed to, help take this team to a whole nother level. And it's just like his level of play, his production. It's just like, It's just like,
Yeah.
It's not like it peaks or we've seen his peak, and this is just him. He's just declining, and I don't know. I don't know if he'll get better during the season or if these numbers will increase, but from what I've seen from him so far, it's just like it seems like everything's moving fast for him. He can't guard anybody. I don't know. He's just
he has a track record of success. He is an all-star. He is right now the second best player on the team that's currently set up. So we need him to play. You got to stop hating on Horford.
I need more than 12 points and 13 points per game. Get at least in the high teens, 18
I don't
or
have
20.
the numbers in front of me, but what are Brown and Tatum putting up? Because they've fallen off big time too.
Listen,
nobody expected them to keep up the pace that they were at, but they've fallen off big time too.
Yeah, remember how we discussed how I told you that Tatum hit that rookie wall?
Yeah, the rookie wall.
Yeah, 11 points per game.
Right. Yeah.
In January, 13 points per game in February. He's shooting 34% from threes in January, 41% from the field. In February, 31% from three, 41% from the field. I mean, decent numbers, but
that's not where they were before.
He was in the high teens before.
Yeah.
Like early in the season, but now everything, like, yeah, he's definitely dropped off. And what's worse is, what I don't like about this team is their dependency on the three-point shot. We don't have players that are just, going to knock down a wide-open threes anytime they get a wide-open three. Kyrie Irving,
Smart, he's not. You don't want him taking threes?
He's shooting 27% from the season.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. He thinks he's a 50% three-point shooter.
Yeah, thinking and knowing is two different things, and he needs to know that.
There's a little bit of sarcasm
he needs
that one, by the way.
But Jaylen Brown as well. He's to January. He shot 27% from the three in January.
Yeah.
And the past two games, there was especially against Cleveland, there was a stretch where they weren't scoring and they were just taking three after three after three after three, and they weren't making a shot. And it's like, when does it hit your mind that you should attack?
And that's not Brad Stevens' game plan. That's
No.
where coaching has to come up, and you got to coach these guys too. So some of this is on Brad Stevens. And just go back to the lack of scoring. They're 25th in the league in scoring.
Yeah.
First in defense, 25th in scoring. Yeah. You need some scores. You need some guys to step up.
Definitely. And in the month of January, they averaged 98 points per game. And they gave up 90 points per game. So, okay, in the month of January, they went 7-5. So for the first part of that, from January 3rd to January 11th, they were 4-0. They allowed 90 points per game, and they scored 98 points per game. That's a good stretch right there of basketball they played, but you can still kind of see that they're scoring. They're scoring wise.
Let's look at this as a whole here.
Yeah.
Celtics were never supposed to be here this year anyway, especially when Gordon Hayward went down. We've already overachieved.
Yeah, they've been overachieving.
We've been overachieving, and I don't think anybody thought that when we went on that big win streak, how those numbers were going to carry over. That's just not the way it is, especially when you have a young team.
Everything balances out.
And you're not built for this year. Yeah. And let's be honest, nobody's going to beat Cleveland in the East. Maybe not Toronto. I mean, you've been hating on Toronto, but Cleveland's coming out of the East.
We'll get to Toronto in a second, but
he's got something to say on Toronto now.
Yeah. So you scoring. So look at the scoring in February. They give up 100. They scored 102 points per game. Not bad, right?
It's not bad.
They allowed 109 points per game.
Yeah, so the defense is falling off.
And they went 3-4 in the month of February.
Mm-hmm.
So their defense is just, it's and their decision making too. Because if you watch the first half, like the first few months of the season, there was a lot of ball movement, a lot of players coming off screens. Now it's like last month, it's just been stagnant. Kyrie Irving reverted to doing what he did in Cleveland. It's isolation ball on one side of the court, dribble. I'm going to shoot it, dribble, drive to the basket.
Well, that's what we need.
Yeah, that's what we need.
We need somebody to take over the game.
Yeah, you need that, but it comes at a certain point. You could do that when it's crunch time, when it's, they say crunch time is like the last 3 minutes of the game. We need that the last 3 minutes of the game, but when it's like when it's in the first half, second half, and like 10 minutes into the game, and that's happening, it's
who do you want him to spread the ball around to? We just said that the young guys aren't putting up points.
You just need to move it around.
You don't like Marcus Smart.
No.
You don't like Horford. What do we do?
They should have made a move in free agency.
They should have made a move in free agency.
They picked the Greg Monroe pickup. Greg Monroe is not a player for this era of the NBA.
Yeah, but he's big.
He's big, but he can't move. He's not athletic. So he's a throwback player. If this was maybe 20 years ago, he'd be a perfect player. But in this NBA, you need big men that can move. You need big men with agility. You need big men that are quick.
And there aren't many of them, though. There are not many of them out there.
No, there's not. And and the ones that are there, they are really good. So Greg Monroe. He's a good pickup to have a body. Maybe we'll throw him in there and give hard fouls. But I don't expect much from him.
Mm-hmm. So here's the question: can the Celtics get the number 1 seed in the East? Because if they get the number 1 seed, if they have the best record, then they have a chance. But if they get number 2 and they have to go against Toronto and Cleveland, there's no way. The number 1 seed in the East is everything, because then you only have to beat Cleveland or Toronto. You don't have to go through both.
We said that last year, and we saw how that turned out. Got blown out every game.
Right.
Except one, the Avery Bradley miracle shot. But at this point, this team
is a different team, though.
This is a way different team. This is a much more athletic team. Like this team, I have more faith in this team than I have in that team. So they just need to figure out their offense. They need to work out their offense. And it's a good thing that the All-Star break is happening right now because they were in a funk. They went 1-4, lost 3 in a row. So they needed this break. So maybe they could regroup, find their stride again, find what made them successful early in the season, and then
One last question on the Celtics before we move on. Gordon Hayward, does he come back this season?
Mm-mm.
You don't think so?
I don't see why he should.
Get him acclimated to the system.
Yeah.
If he's get some confidence.
If you want to dress him
next year,
if you want to dress him and put it in the coaches,
off the bench. Have him come off the bench. But I mean, until they officially say that he's not playing, I'm gonna think that there's.
I had some thought that maybe he might come back, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did it. But I mean, if they want to play mind tricks with other teams during the playoffs, we just dress him and have him think that he'll play.
Dress him, yeah. Have him come off the bench. Have him play 10 minutes, see how he
does. And that's the craziest thing about this. Jason Tatum would be coming off the bench if that injury never happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Jason Tatum would be a bench player if that injury never happened. So
this is good. I mean, the injury is not good, but for the development of Tatum, it is a good thing for him personally and for us in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And before we move on to All-Star Weekend, you talked about the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, yeah.
And you told me that there were some people that disagreed with.
There's a lot of people that disagree with you.
Camera?
Oh, he loves this one shot.
If you are buying stock in the Toronto Raptors, you are a fool. They are fool's gold. They will disappoint you. Don't do it. Do not do it. They're just going to choke in the playoffs like they always do.
I'm probably going to get a shirt that says, "I'm a fool. I stand with Toronto."
I'm telling you, this team is, you're a boxing guy, right?
Yeah.
When a big match comes up, you got two heavyweights. One gets punched in the face. They either do two things. They either punch back or they either fold.
Well,
the Raptors fold.
The thing about Toronto is, though, they're amazing at home. I think they're 24. I have it here. They're amazing at home because you got to travel to Toronto. Yeah, if they get the number 1 seed, that benefits them. They are not a good road team, but it just makes sense because it's even though it's closer than some other cities when you travel, it just makes a difference going from a different country. Yeah,
but they still will fold because there's 2 star players. Whenever in the playoffs they get hit in the mouth, they fold, they disappear, they just become a shell of themselves.
So Pedro's marking the time code on all these, and whatever happens, we're gonna replay all this stuff, and you're either gonna look like a genius or you're gonna be the fool. It's yet to be seen. It's yet to be seen. You're the basketball guy, though.
I'm just letting you know
more than I do.
I'm just
letting
you know more than I do. I've seen it for the past 5 years. Mm-hmm. They've had numerous times where they were the favorite and they just folded under pressure, and every time they play Cleveland, they even fold more under pressure. They're like the Kansas City Chiefs. Once playoff time comes, they just
I hope you're not comparing to DeRozan and Alex Smith, though.
I mean, you could make that comparison. Alex Smith does. Alex Smith does. I mean, great regular season, playoffs comes, you can't do nothing. But that's neither here nor there. All
right, let's get to All-Star Weekend.
All-Star Weekend.
We're going to talk about 3-point competition.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm mad that Steph Curry isn't in it this year, but the 3-point contest has turned out to be kind of like the mainstay of the night. What everybody comes to see. It used to be whenever the dunk contest, sometimes it's hit or miss, but the 3-point contest now it's what everybody want to see, and we got a lot of shooters. There's a lot of great shooters. Except for the guy in Toronto that's in it, but...
Do you got something against Canadians in general? Or is it just the city of Toronto?
It's just Toronto.
Okay, it's just the Raptors. Right.
But yeah, so we got a lot of great shooters. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Wayne Ellington, Paul George, Eric Gordon. He's the champion. He was last year's champion, defending his crown. Tobias Harris, Kyle Lowry, and Klay Thompson. So these are all lethal 3-point shooters. Lethal. So, I mean, out of this list, who are you looking at?
I'm looking at Paul George and Klay Thompson. I think they got the 2 highest percentage from the 3. Klay Thompson is 45.4% for the 3. Paul George is 43.3%. And last year's winner, Gordon, 33.4%. So I don't think he's going to repeat.
But Gordon's shooting the lights out this year.
Well, he's 33.4% from 3-point range. That's 10% lower and 12% lower.
Yeah, the Rockets, they just shoot threes. He's on the Rockets. That's all they do is shoot threes.
I'm going with the high percentage players here. I think Klay Thompson and Paul George are going to be in the finals. I like Paul George to take it.
All right, so you got Klay Thompson. We both like Klay Thompson, but I'm not big on Paul George for this one.
Why not?
I think Devin Booker.
Devin Booker?
Devin Booker. I think it's going to be him and Klay Thompson and with Klay in the finals. Klay Thompson winning it. Devin Booker, he is a lethal shooter. That guy, you know how they call Steph and Klay Thompson the Splash Brothers?
Mm-hmm.
This is the Splash Brother that got lost. Mm-hmm. This guy, he can shoot from anywhere on the field. He can make any shot. He had a 70-point game last year against the Celtics. So,
well, these are all legit shooters.
Yeah.
This is a good crop.
Yeah, definitely.
This year.
A guy surprising me, Tobias Harris. He's having quite the season this year. He got traded, but he has been playing stellar basketball. They also had him in consideration to be an All-Star this year, the way he was playing. So, I mean, that's one guy to look at.
Hey, you can only choose two.
I know,
Come
but
on now.
I'm just saying that's one guy to look at.
Okay.
If a dark horse guy, if you want to pick a dark horse player, that's one guy to look at.
Okay, let's move on to the slam dunk competition, which from my youth, and I think we were talking about this from your youth as well, this used to be the big one.
Yeah.
There used to be 8 competitors, I think, in a couple rounds, and now there's only 4. There's only 4 competitors.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not as.
It's not as exciting as it used to be.
Yeah, it's not exciting. The one 2 years ago was pretty exciting. It
Which
went down.
Was that?
It was in Canada. It was in Toronto. It was.
he doesn't like Canada. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
It was the finals between Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. I think they had to do a dunk off because they ended up.
They ended
up being tied. That was the last one. Last year it was. I'd watched like the first round, and then after I just left. I knew it wasn't going to be fun, but we got some high flyers in this one.
It's when the superstars stopped. Stopped competing in the slam dunk competition.
Yeah.
LeBron came in the league.
He never competed.
Yeah. And then the superstars were just like,
I know. I think the highest rated dunk contest might have been Vince Carter's.
Vince Carter, man. He was the best.
Yeah, that one that set the tone for a while. I don't think there's going to be ever a dunk contest that could actually match that one. And if you watch that dunk contest, and Tracy McGrady, he had some amazing dunks in there. Any other year, he would have won the dunk contest, but Vince Carter literally stole the show.
Best of all time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But with this one, the 2 players I'm looking at is Larry Nance Jr. and Donovan Mitchell.
Really?
Donovan Mitchell, the rookie from the Utah Jazz. Mm-hmm. That guy, he can fly. He's been having a stellar rookie year, but he can fly. So that's one guy. And Larry Nance, I think, he might want to win one just so he could go home and be like him and his dad would both be like the first father-son pair to win a dunk contest. That would be a cute story.
This isn't about cute, okay? This
we
is
like
about
cute
throwing
stories.
It down. It's about throwing it down and breaking backboards, man. That's what we want in this competition.
Yeah, I've been going like this, but I think Victor Oladipo might win it.
I like the rookie Smith.
Dennis Smith?
Dennis Smith Jr. You know why? Because the guy we just talked about is backing him. Vince Carter. He's backing him. He's sending out tweets. He's telling him to go out there and win it. I'm sure he's giving him up calls with giving him some advice on how to take care of this competition. But yeah, I like the youth, Dennis Smith Jr. I also think Oladipo has a shot on this.
Yeah, Oladipo. What a season that guy's been having. I'm pretty sure the Orlando Magic are wondering why they traded him because he's elevated his game. And he's always been able to jump. He's a high flyer, so that's.
There's some good guys in this competition. It's just not enough. I feel like.
I know. I don't understand why a lot of the top players who can get up there don't do it more often. Yeah. Unless they're not. Because there's some players that are in-game dunkers and aren't really creative dunkers. Mm-hmm. So that could be why. So. Need some more creative dunkers in here.
Yeah, people that can dunk over people but that aren't that creative. Like LeBron, maybe he's not a creative dunker. I mean, he's a creative dunker. Well, then why hasn't he ever done the competition?
That's questions that we need answers. If you've ever watched pregame, him dunking before pregame, he's doing all these crazy dunks during pregame, and that's just like that's gonna be something we're gonna all look back on and be like. Out of LeBron's entire career, he never competed in the dunk contest once.
No, I mean that would just bring
he
the
should have done
ratings
his rookie
up
year
so much.
Yeah, Now
he's too old now.
Now he's too old. But he should have done it like his rookie year or something like that. That would have been, because that's when you're young, high flying, you can just do anything. So, yeah. But for the All-Star game, it's
so sorry. Who did you predict? Just so we get it down.
I keep flip-flopping. I said Oladipo.
I think you did say 2 names. Okay, so you going Oladipo?
Yeah, I'm going Oladipo.
Okay, and I got Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah, I think I've changed my answer a couple times.
I think you have, but that's final. That's locked in. You got Oladipo.
Now for the All-Star game, different. It's different this year. It's not East versus West anymore. It's like playground pickup game.
They all chose the captains.
Yeah, captains
Steph and
choosing.
LeBron chose.
Yeah, which the NBA didn't televise them picking, which
is crazy because that would have been the best part.
Yeah,
like if the NHL All-Star game, they did this. They moved to this format, and they got to. They did it live, and then the last person picked received a car, so it wasn't so bad to be the last person picked. But they're worried about they got a brand new car.
Jeez.
So now they're worried about hurt feelings in the NBA All-Star game. Exactly. Who cares? You're still an All-Star.
I mean, these guys played pickup basketball when they were young. They know what it's like to be the last person picked, or some of them don't know because they probably were the first person picked. But they know.
I don't think any of these guys know.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. So I mean, that would have just been more entertaining. Kenny Smith said next year they should have all the players come during the All-Star game, and before the game they should have the captains pick the teams before the game.
I like that.
That's a good idea.
But that would have been great TV to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it was the unions or
I don't know.
Commissioner who
they
was against
missed the
it,
ball
but
on
yeah,
this.
they dropped the ball.
Maybe they'll do it next year. Maybe something for them to look at this year. But I mean, who do you like? Team Steph or Team LeBron?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. None of them really take it too seriously.
Yeah.
It's all about having fun out there,
The hopes of this is to make it more competitive, to have it at least be competitive, because last year it was 182 to 192 or something like that.
Yeah.
Some crazy score like
There's
that.
no defense in these things. I'm so over All-Star games in every single sport. None of them interest me anymore.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point when the NBA All-Star game used to be competitive.
It used to mean something.
It used to be. You knew the first three quarters. You knew they'll all be coasting, but they'll try to. Once the fourth quarter hits and it's a close game, that's when everybody starts playing. That's when everybody starts actually playing defense, starts competing. So, I mean, I'm hoping that this is like that. That they close, they keep it close, and then the fourth quarter comes, people are actually starting to take it seriously, start competing, and just playing defense. Because I just want to see a competitive game.
Yeah, I don't see it. It just doesn't. It's just the nature of these All-Star games. I mean, they're breaks for people.
Yeah.
They're all doing all these vacation type things. The Pro Bowl's the same way.
Oh, the Pro Bowl's a complete waste of time.
The NHL All-Star game's terrible now. They don't even hit. I think that there's been one recorded hit in the past, in the past 10 years in the All-Star game. They're just really meant to give a little break in the season and make more money for the league. That's really what it's about, making more money for the league. Yeah,
that's $1 billion industry. They're always trying to find ways to make money, but hey, that's
so I have no predictions. None. I know we'll see probably some cool things, but I can predict there's going to be no defense. That's one thing I will predict.
Oh yeah, I'm predicting no defense the first 3 quarters, and if it's close at the end, then they're gonna have. They might play, but that's wishful thinking on my end.
I think it's wishful thinking.
But before we go to break, did you know it's been 32 years since Larry Bird told the press and the players that he's going to play left-handed for an entire game because he's bored?
I did not know that it was 32 years.
Yeah, it was in 1986 he did that. I heard about it, but I didn't know it was true. And then I think Kevin McHale told the story. He said one day he just came. He said, I'm bored. I'm going to play this game left-handed. He had a triple-double.
So he actually played the whole game?
Yeah, he played the whole game left-handed. I think he scored 41 points and had a triple-double.
See, and I don't think Robert Parrish was correct in saying that Paul Pierce is the best offensive Celtic ever. I think Larry Bird was clearly the best.
Well, I mean, when you're bored and decide to play left-handed, just out of boredom.
And he won the three-point competition every time he did it. Yeah. The thing was, they didn't shoot three-pointers back then when he was playing in the NBA. That just wasn't part of the game plan.
The three-point line didn't come in until like 84.
No. So So if they did when he was playing, I mean, his point total would have been
Yeah, he
off
probably
the
hit 40,000 points.
off the chart.
But yeah, that's one fun fact I have.
Do we have any video of that?
No, we don't have any video of that.
Oh,
I
I'd
saw
love
a
to see
video of
of
that
too.
though. I saw a video of it one time on Twitter.
All right, well, we'll get it for the next show.
Yeah, I'll try to find it again.
I want to see that.
But it's time for our first break.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to talk college basketball and NHL drafting.
Let's do it.
All that. So we'll be right back after this break or PSA, or whatever you guys want to call it.
It's a break.
Don't buy
We'll call it a
Raptor
break.
stock.
Oh, God.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you're beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
That's
Welcome back to After the Whistle. We are back from our short break where me and Brian had a mini argument about the Toronto Raptors. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah, you started throwing stuff. You guys should have seen it.
I don't like the Raptors.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk,
everything.
we haven't done this in a while. You know, March Madness is slowly approaching, so we're going to talk a little college basketball. We're going to talk about the AP Top 25.
The funnest sporting event
The
year.
The best
for
3
sure.
weeks of everybody's lives.
Yeah,
where-
well, until like your Final Four gets eliminated like in the first weekend, and then your bracket's busted.
Yeah, for me, it's usually after the first 2 days.
Yeah.
I just.
I actually have done surprisingly well in recent memory.
You know the last time I did well? 2005,
2000. Who won that year?
North Carolina.
That's your
I actually
team.
picked the 2 teams that were in the finals. Granted, every other pick, the path they got there, some of the teams but I picked the 2 teams in the finals and got it correct. But that's the last time I had success.
You're gonna
with the
redeem
brackets.
yourself this year, I think. I feel it.
No.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, you're not.
Oh no,
You're
no.
in trouble.
After last year, I almost gave up. But
We're gonna have to have a special show dedicated to just March Madness for sure.
yeah, and all the wrong predictions. We might have people
That
call
we'll
in
make.
for that
Yeah,
one.
absolutely. Okay,
So-
take us down this top.
All right,
AP top
so
25.
the new rankings, they were revealed on Monday. Virginia took over the number 1 spot.
She's been number 1.
Villanova was number 1 for.
Oh, yeah, Villanova was number 1 for a little bit, yeah.
for a little while. They lost a couple games. They lost to St. John's, which had recently had not won a conference game. They were something like 0-11.
Mm-hmm.
So Michigan State, which is always a top team, Xavier, Cincinnati, Purdue, Texas Tech, Ohio State, Gonzaga, Auburn, Clemson, Duke. Kansas has been in a funk this year. I think it might end their streak of Big 12 regular season titles this year. North Carolina, St. Mary's, Rhode Island, they've been a surprise team this year.
16-game win streak.
Yeah,
for Rhode Island.
Yeah, they've mightily surprising.
Yes.
Arizona, Tennessee, Wichita State, West Virginia, Texas A&M, Michigan, Oklahoma, Nevada, and Arizona State at number 25. So there's a lot of good teams. This year in college basketball, it's just wide open.
All over the place.
Yeah, nobody knows. Even the experts don't know who's going to actually win it all. The
experts never know. Who's
Yeah,
gonna
they
win
never
all if you
know, but
listen to
sometimes they
them.
have a clue.
Yeah.
But this year, it's just like the whole college basketball landscape. It's just, people aren't too sure. So, some folks, I think Michigan State might be the
They're
best.
trending in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. They're
not letting the outside stuff get to them. at
no,
all.
which is a good thing. But
What's their win streak? 9. 9-game win streak.
Yeah, 24-3 record. But there was a report out of a freshman. He's being investigated for sexual assault allegations, a freshman on the basketball team. So that means,
Yeah, that could go anywhere.
Yeah, so Villanova, they brought back a good team, but there's one team that I think is one of the that right now, if you were to ask me who do you think would win this whole thing, and that would be Arizona.
Arizona, huh?
Yeah, Arizona. They actually
Pac-12.
but Arizona actually
they always fail in the tournament.
Yeah, but they have a team. It's like if you look at the team, it's like size-wise on every position, they look like an NBA team. Size-wise, they have a tall point guard. They have a tall shooting guards. They have a front line which is pretty dominant, and one of the best freshmen in the country, DeAndre Ayton, who some are saying could be the number 1 overall pick. And this guy, if you've seen him play, he's legit. He's legit. He could rebound. He could score. He could defend. 7 feet. I think he's 7'2" or something like that. So I think Arizona right now. I think Arizona might be the team that will take it all. Michigan State.
You know who's going to agree with you? To stop you there? Barkley. Picks them every year to win.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Every year.
Well, he played in Phoenix.
Change. Yeah, but it doesn't change. He always picks Arizona.
I think he's a resident of Arizona. That's why.
I think he does.
So,
he probably has a few houses, but he's always on.
Yeah.
And he's never right.
Yeah, but Michigan State also. The Miles Bridges, the sophomore. That's one tough player. He's another player that's projected to be a top pick in this June's NBA draft. So those two teams right there, I think, are two teams that. That might make it. And Virginia, I'm just not buying anything into Virginia. Have you ever watched a University of Virginia basketball game?
Yeah.
One of the most boringest things you'll ever see in your life. I watched one game the other day. It was 26-28 at halftime.
They're a good defensive team.
No,
that's their thing. That's how they make their living.
They are terrible.
But one team that is, I don't know if they're going to win it all, but the most interesting team for me, the most interesting story is Auburn. Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
Got a second chance. He got fired from Tennessee for doing stuff that pretty much every single coach does.
Yeah.
He just happened to be one of the guys that got caught.
Yeah.
I think they're ranked 10th right now. I think that I've seen them higher in some other polls.
Yeah, big win against Kentucky the other day.
Big win against Kentucky. They beat Tennessee. Bruce Pearl's old school.
Yeah.
He knows how to coach a team in the tournament. He's got lots of experience there. They got this guy, Bryce Brown, who's a legit guard. He's shooting 49% from threes. So, and these guys, their strength of schedule isn't that good, but they only have 3 losses. And I totally think these guys can run the table. They're in the SEC. It's not the powerhouse division like it is in football.
Yeah,
but there's still some legitimate talent in there. These guys can play. They've got great defense. They're a good transitional team. They're fun to watch. And they say now the hardest place to play in college basketball in terms of fans being crazy is Auburn.
Oh, really?
So, so the fans, I mean, that's just what
they
some
say.
Reporter wrote somewhere. But they're an interesting team. They haven't made it to the tournament since the 2008-2009 season. If you can believe it or not.
Maybe it's their time. I mean, we saw last year an SEC team make it to the Final Four, South Carolina. They came out of nowhere. So it's possible. You never know. Two teams that have been very disappointing this year is Duke and Kansas.
I love Duke.
Oh.
I love Duke.
I'm a North Carolina guy.
No, because every time I've won the bracket, it's been that's why.
Yeah, but this year Duke, recently they've been getting these one and done players, these highly recruited players, and only they got to the national championship that one year, I believe in 2015. They won the national championship. But I know it's been, it hasn't been working, because usually Coach K, he gets 3 years or 4 years. They'll stay there, learn the system, and they'll go somewhere. But he's been getting these highly recruited players, and they haven't been doing nothing. Now the one they have right now, Marvin Bagley III. This guy, he's another player. He is serious. He leads the ACC in double doubles. He leads them. He has the freshman record for double doubles. But Duke's problem is they don't play defense. They play no defense at all.
That's coachable. Krzyzewski can coach that.
At this point in 25, 26 games into the season, if your defense is still lackluster, that's just,
Doesn't matter how Duke finishes in the regular season. Where they finish, they're always going to be a threat to win the tournament. Doesn't matter what seed they have.
Yeah,
They're going to be a threat come tournament time, no matter what.
Yeah,
it's just the way that it goes.
Yeah, but the NCAA tournament it's a lot about guard play. It's about
that's
guard,
why I like Auburn.
It's guard play, stopping guard, and guards that can score.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Duke can't stop any guard. They can't stop players from doing the high pick and roll. They can't stop guards from getting into the lane. So that's going to be a problem when they run into a team in the tournament that has extreme guard play. So unless they adjust their defense or something, they go zone a lot, but every time they've gone zone, it's been a success at points, but then there's other times where they play a team that are lethal from the three-point line and they'll shoot them out the zone. So, I mean, they need to work on their defense if they want to get another banner or another national title.
Well, you're a Duke hater, though, too, right? Who do you hate more, Duke or Toronto? Because I know you're a UNC guy, right? Duke or Toronto? What's if you had to pick?
Probably Duke.
You hate Duke more than Toronto?
Probably Duke.
Oh, man.
Probably Duke.
Okay.
Yeah, did you watch the I Hate Christian Leitner documentary?
I did see that.
Yeah, Duke. Duke, they do some funny stuff over there, especially them referees. But another team that's been disappointing,
Kansas.
Another
disappointing team. Can you talk about some positives, some good teams? Any good stories to give us?
We got to talk about the disappointments first. Kansas, they were a team people had watching to see that we're going to make it to the national title game, but they've had some bad losses. They recently lost to Baylor, which they're not really good this year. They lost to them. They've lost, I think, 2 or 3 home games this year, which is rare because they hardly ever lose at home. And it's another team. It's their defense. I think that's the theme now. A lot of teams aren't playing that good of a defense. Their starting point guard, Devontae Graham, he's been having an awful senior season. His shooting percentage, all his numbers has dropped from last year. So they have a big man. I can't even pronounce his last name, but
try.
No.
It'll be fun for the audience.
It's Azabukwe.
There you go.
He's Nigerian, I believe.
That's good.
And he's a solid player. He's a solid player, solid big man, but it's probably you get him through the free throw line, and it's just it's a fun experience watching them shoot free throws.
Well, how about Kentucky? Aren't they? They're not even in the top 25. How disappointing is that? I mean, that's I mean, you think of basketball, you think of Kentucky, Kansas.
Yeah, but
UNC,
it's kind
Duke.
of it's starting to catch up to them with these one and dones because
right.
Every year it's basically a new team every year. A new team every year, so I don't know. But we've been rambling. We're gonna go on to another.
Well, that's what we do on this show.
Yeah, let's talk about
what it's designed
let's talk about the
for.
NFL draft real quick.
Oh,
before
yes.
we go.
I think we're gonna go. We got top 5 guys that we're gonna pick.
Yeah.
Who do you like for your?
The first 2 players that are gonna be picked are quarterbacks.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so. So I think that the Browns are gonna go with the safest pick, Sam Darnold.
Okay.
It's not going to make a difference who they pick as quarterback because they're just going to get buried and have a terrible career because the Browns just can't draft a quarterback, period. I actually like Saquon Barkley going to the Giants.
Okay.
Because
they need playmakers.
Because you've exactly, and they can win now with Eli. He's got a few years left. They can get somebody's going to fall to the 2nd or 3rd round in the draft. One of the quarterbacks. They can pick somebody up there. But you've seen what
pick your guy Josh Allen.
Yeah, right. They've seen what Ezekiel Elliott. No, my guy's Mason Rudolph.
Oh yeah.
They've seen what Ezekiel Elliott and Leonard Fournette, what type of impact those young guys can have. They would be Saquon Barkley can have that same type of impact.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I think he's gonna go to the Colts. I think he's going to go to the Colts because I still think 2 quarterbacks are going to be picked. I think Sam Darnold's going to go number 1, then Josh Rosen will go number 2. But Saquon Barkley, I think the Colts need a player like him to get the ball, have somebody to, relieve Andrew Luck, get the ball out of Andrew Luck's hand it off, or you could hand it off, you could throw screens to him. That's a player to watch. And if they don't go that route, they might go defense.
I think so.
And Bradley Chubb
is. That's where I have.
Yeah, Bradley Chubb would be a good pickup. Even though I have him going to the Browns, him and Myles Garrett. That'll be good.
Dangerous.
Yeah, that'll be.
You think he's going to go to the 4th overall pick?
Myles Garrett, Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb's going to be the 4th.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Browns are going to get him. They need defense, and you got. Because they got
to go Minka. That's who I think they got to go. They need a replacement for Hayden. They haven't been able to replace him. I mean, they're going to have a stout defense no matter what,
Yeah.
because I do think you're right. They're going to get one of those two defensemen, whether it's Minka or Chubb.
Yeah, I think Minka will go after him, but I think Chubb, pass rushes are, especially pass rushes like him, is going to be pretty good.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts, I think that Saquon Barkley is the guy they really want.
Yeah.
If he's on the table, I think the Giants are going to take him. If he's on the table, they're going to take him. But I don't think he'll be on the table. But I could see them also be boring and go with an offensive guard in Quentin Nelson, the guy from Notre Dame, because Lord knows you got to protect Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
He's been hit more than like any other quarterback since he's gotten to the league. He's still coming off an injury. I could see them go boring.
And they've done a terrible job of protecting Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
they've done a terrible job for the past few years of protecting him. That's why that he didn't. I don't blame him for not playing last year.
Heck no.
Because that being thrown out there, just running for your life, and it's not good. But
and he might need another surgery, they're saying too.
Yeah. So
who do you like in the 5 spot? The Broncos. Who are they going to go with?
I think they're going to go with Minka.
You think? Okay, so you think Minka will fall?
Yeah.
I think they got to go quarter. So do you think they're going to land Cousins? Is this based on them landing Cousins? Because they need a quarterback.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Cousins, but I think Minka is going to go. But also, what you said, they might go with another offensive lineman.
They could go offensive lineman too.
But if I were them, I would go with Minka because you get a quarterback in free agency, and then your defense you'll just improve your defense.
Yeah, if they can get land Cousins, which I don't think they'll do. I think the Jets will land Cousins.
Okay.
I think that they're going to go with Josh Allen. I know you're not high on the guy. I'm not too high on him anyway. I think but he's got the Carson Wentz effect.
Yeah.
North Dakota, small school, Wyoming. Why not?
Why not?
The size, athleticism, and John Elway scouted him at the Senior Bowl. He saw him play in his bowl game this year, up close in person. So I think he'd be a perfect fit for them. They need a quarterback, whether they do it through the draft or they do it by getting Cousins.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. You're telling us we have a minute, so we're going to...
1 minute?
Well, we're going to take a break.
Oh, 1 minute for a break. Okay, I thought 1 minute left. We didn't even get to the Bruins yet.
No, we're going to do our first installment of Athletes Corner, where I spoke with Jasper Grassa and Ishmel Smith of the Lynn Classical High School basketball team. We talked about their season, the upcoming state tournament. So check this segment out of Athletes Corner. This is our first installment of it. So check it out, and then we'll be back to finish up the show. Do-do-do-do. We have 2 special guests with us today. We have Lynn Classical basketball men's coach, Jasper Grassa, and senior forward, Ishmel Johnson. How you guys doing today?
Doing well.
How's everything going?
Good.
The season going well for you?
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Looking forward to next couple weeks.
Yeah, it's coming down to almost state tournament time. So, throughout the season, what is something that you learned about your team that you didn't know before the season started?
Something I learned about the team over the season. I think I just learned something from different guys. Mm-hmm. I think I already knew once we came together, we can be a special team. But just little things about, Ishmael hitting the 3 last game. That was something I didn't see coming this year. No, but just little things like that. Guys showing a lot more than I anticipated.
Ishmel, for you, this is your senior year, last year playing in high school. So what did you want to go out? What did you want to prove to yourself in your final year at Lynn Classical?
I wanted to improve as a player, to become better and show my teammates I could help them win. And I felt like we're accomplishing that so far this season.
What was one thing that you said to yourself that you need to improve on to going into this season?
Having better hands inside the paint and stuff. So, yeah, that worked out very well this season.
You both of you can answer this part. Now, last year you guys made a deep run in the tournament. You guys were a game away from going to the Garden, eventually losing to the team that won it all.
Yeah.
So that experience, how have you guys learned from that experience and needing to know what you guys need to do in order to get back there and get to the Garden?
Well, I think they maybe they didn't realize it last year, but now they realize how much of a grind that playoff run really is. I mean, a lot of people talk about the Brighton game, but we had 2 tough games before that, well, 3 actually, with Salem, Belmont, and then Malden Catholic. You know, and I think they're going to be a lot more prepared for it this time.
Right. And for you, Ishmel, I'll reiterate, this is your senior year, so, you know, what do you need to do in order to help your team get to the Garden?
Be a better leader. Make sure things that we're running the plays and everybody knows it on the court.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So you guys, the season's coming down. You guys played English twice. You guys split the season series with them. How important was that for you guys?
Getting that second one was definitely huge. You know, because they go 2-0. They're 2-0 for that whole year until next year.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and with their new coaching staff too, very friendly with a lot of those guys. So I'm sure I would have heard it.
Yeah. And for yourself, knowing that you kind of grew up playing against most of those guys your whole life and stuff, so. What was it that you needed to get that win, just so you wouldn't have to hear them? Because I know in the summertime everybody hangs around and stuff, and the trash talk happens then.
I already lost during Thanksgiving, and I wasn't trying to lose another game because it would have been 2-1.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy that my team got the win this time.
All right, to talk about that game a little bit. Both games, the first game you guys played went to overtime, came down to the last possession. Jalen didn't quite hit the shot.
Yeah.
So how was it different the second go around?
I thought we played with a lot more discipline the second time around. Even though we played with a lot of energy in, that first game, the second game, I think we matched the energy and the discipline, and that's what ended up working out for us.
What do you think the difference was for you?
Like Coach said, a lot of energy and discipline. We listened to what he told us, and we came out successful that night.
Now you guys have a big game coming up. Also, you guys have a tournament coming up a tournament this weekend coming up. So first off, let's talk about this big game against Everett. They're undefeated in the conference. They're a tough team to play. They got their point guard. I think he's like one of the best scorers in their school history.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
what do you guys need to do in order to slow him down and slow that whole team down? I was at the game last week against English, and their man-to-man defense and their ability to hit outside shots was very key in that game. So what do you guys need to do not to let them get out to a big lead or get momentum?
Yeah, well, you got to find him, especially in transition. He's one of those kids. He always knows when to get open. If you take your eyes off him for a second, he's making that cut. So just point him out. You got to find him before you can defend him. And then just doing your best, playing with a lot of effort, always having a hand up, because he's just an unbelievable shooter. If you're not ready, he'll light it up.
Now, who was one player on your team, if you could answer this well, that you guys, when things get hard or, maybe you guys go on a stretch that you're not scoring, who's that one player that everyone relies on to kind of pick you guys up or get an easy bucket or just get everybody going?
Edwin Solis.
Go ahead.
He's like a very good guy, like one-on-one wise. He can score whenever he wants. So like we get him the ball in the post, a 3 on the screen, he's just gonna score.
Yeah. And this for you, Coach. Having so many experienced players, have a lot of guys returning. How easier does that make your job?
Well, it makes it a lot easier in terms of them already knowing the game plan. You don't really have to go over as much. It becomes more about getting better at what we want to execute instead of introducing what we want to execute. So I think that's the main thing.
All right. And also now this tournament this weekend, can you tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, it's the Comcast tournament. It's going to be Sunday and Monday, and we're opening up with St. Mary's, and I believe it's at Woburn High School.
Okay. Yeah. And how many teams are in this tournament?
It's just four.
Just four
teams, and if we win, we'll face the winner of Arlington and Brighton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to be four really good teams.
Yeah. I mean, you got the defending state champs.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there, so you guys could get another crack at them, and maybe that could set something up for. Somewhere down the road.
But it's not. St. Mary's is first. They're a very strong team.
Yeah.
We got them in the tournament, so they're going to be coming for us.
Yeah, I think they're like the top team in their conference, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure exactly, but I would assume so.
All right. Now for you, Ishmel, this is your senior year, so I mean, just tell us a little bit. You're about to start the tournament, you're about to go on the run to try to get that title. How important for you would it be to end your senior year off with a state championship?
It'll be very important, but right now we're taking it one game at a time. So Tonight.
Tonight? You got that Bill Belichick answer. One game at a time.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly, before we let you guys go, just give us the whole landscape of the season. What are the things that, the improvements that you've seen in your team? You guys did have in the middle of the season, you guys had a little losing streak happening. Yeah. So how were you guys able to overcome that, and how were you guys able to start playing good basketball towards the end of the season so you guys could start the tournament off on a good note?
We're just being very unselfish and very disciplined now. I think we had a couple tough losses through that run, and I think they really sat down and realized, we're not going to win playing selfish basketball.
Mm-hmm. For you guys?
Honestly, it was a lot of us our senior season, so we came together and we're not going to lose another game. We just need to keep playing hard, and coming out together was a great idea.
Right, definitely. And lastly, before I let you guys go, I know you guys got to get ready. So this weekend is All-Star Weekend in the NBA. I need you guys' predictions. So who do you have winning the three-point shootout, and who do you have winning the dunk contest?
Well, who's in the three-point? I only know
Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kyle Lowry. Who else is in there? Klay Thompson.
Clay. I'm going with Beal. I don't think he's won it yet. He's probably a little more hungry than the other guys.
Or you?
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker.
I got him in the finals with Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson is going to win it. And dunk contest, it's Victor Oladipo, Donovan Mitchell, Larry Nance Jr.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Oladipo. Yeah, I think so.
Dennis Smith.
That's the rookie from the Mavs.
Yeah, I got Larry Nance.
You got Nance?
Yeah, I think it's,
He's been doing a lot of traveling. His knees aren't right.
Yeah. But thank you guys for coming. Good luck the rest of the way. Good luck this weekend for the tournament. Get that W, and you guys can come back here anytime. Talk about anything you guys want to talk about.
Oh, nice.
You all got a major announcement you want to make college-wise, you come here. We'll broadcast it. We'll give you a cake and all that stuff.
That's
Brian's going to pay for it. All right, guys. You guys have been watching Athletes Corner. We're going to send it back to Brian.
Well, we rambled a little bit too much. We thought we'd have time to talk about the Bruins, but we don't. I will just mention that they're doing great. We're in the hunt for McDonough and Nash. Ryan Donato scored the first 2 goals. Who's a Bruins prospect.
Okay.
In the Olympics, in their first win against Slovakia or Slovenia. I don't know the difference between the two. I know Choward's from one of them, and they're both in Eastern Europe, and they start with S's. So we will start off next week. We promised to talk Bruins. I love hockey. Mukala, I'm trying to teach him as much as I can.
I had some stats
you
too.
Had some stats too. I know.
I'll give you a quick one with James Neal. James Neal, a player you told me to watch for the trade deadline. He is 15th in the league in goals with 24. He has 39 points on the season. That's tied for 81st. His plus minus is -2.
Yes,
15 assists.
And he's not necessarily on the trade block, but he'd fit in well for the Bruins. And also, he's Vegas' best player right now, but they need to think about the future. You know what I mean? They can get a lot of the young prospects. That's what the Bruins have. I still think we're probably going to be closer to Nash or Patrick Maroon, but we'll talk more about that next week. You do the outro because that's your thing and you're great at it.
All right. So thank you guys for watching me and Brian go at it. Voicing my displeasure for the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, and please, Canadians,
and the city
don't
of
watch
Toronto.
this. The Canadians, we got to make sure this can't go to Canada.
Yeah, this is what I think of them.
Yeah, they're going to hate us.
The page is doing good, but not showing me. But all right, you have been watching After the Whistle with Mukala Kabongo and Brian Dorrington. Please check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Lynn Community Television. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lynn Community Television, and come down to the studio, 181 Union Street. Check us out on the website, www.linntv.org. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. And go see Black Panther.
I think we got all that in 2 minutes.